trying to find fair trade fabric is pretty difficult. Fortunately, that's, oh, I know there's some irony involved in some of the fabrics and that the production of them aren't sustainable, but I'm trying to then make at least this end of it sustainable, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Do so much. We can only fight so many battles at one time. So this is the battle I'm choosing to fight. And I know all the other stuff is out there. I personally can't do anything about that, but I can do something about the consumer end.
Yeah. Amen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello everyone, welcome back to the GreenecoStyle YouTube channel where we help people shop and live sustainably. So today we're pleased to be speaking with Brenda Brandley. She is a teacher at the Lethbridge College in the School of Special Design and Technology and has currently just launched her own brand, Beautiful Reason. So without further ado, Brenda Brandley. Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Great. So nice to see you.
Good. Yes, you as well. I'm glad we could do this. So, do you mind if I just dive right into the questions here?
Dive right in.
Okay, sweet. So the first one I have here is, when did you realize that you wanted to teach fashion education, and why did you stick with it for as long as you did?
It was probably when I first started sewing. So I first started sewing it when I was about 5. The little purse I made, I put my first zipper in by machine when I was 5 years old.
5? Holy, so good. Wow.
Yeah, I've been sewing my entire life. And so once I started taking home ec, that's what it used to be called, not fashion studies and food science. It used to be together, home ec. In junior high, I knew then that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to teach sewing, particularly back then you couldn't separate them. And so I wanted to be a home ec teacher. It didn't work out that way. Some things happened. I wasn't able to finish my education in that area at the time, and finances and stuff like that. So that got put on hold for many years, and but then then it happened.
That happened. Now here you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That's really cool. I can't believe that since 5 years old. Like, no way.
Oh yeah.
I think when I was first interested in fashion and all the sustainable scene, actually fashion particularly, I think it was in high school or maybe even just middle school, like grade 8 probably, when I was really into fashion and really like picking out my own outfits, and I love just changing everything up every single day, had a completely different outfit. But yeah, I can't believe it. That's really cool. I love that little show. Do you still, I remember, because you still teach at the Lethbridge College, and you taught the fashion design program there. That's when I went, and that's why I know you.
Yes. Yeah.
So I remember at that time when I was in school there, you were doing your own wedding dress designs. Do you still do that for people?
I do. I did my first wedding design when I was 19 years old. And
no waiting. Wow.
Yeah. I like, again, life takes over and you do other stuff for a while, but I would always do something like, here and there. And then for many years, that's how I supported my kids. I company, and we I did sewing and alterations, but mostly designed wedding gowns and prom dresses. And then once I got full-time at the college, I stopped doing that. Would do 1 or 2 or 3 a year, and I still do. Usually about 1 a year. I have one on the go. Oh, it's so pretty.
Right now. Okay.
Yeah. So, and that was always something I would do. Like, that would be my gift for my nieces or my nieces to be. I would design and create their wedding dress for them, which is kind of a fun thing to do.
That's so nice. It's so sentimental.
Yeah, and you get to know them, even though I was always close to them, you get to know them even more.
That's really cool.
It's nice. One of my friends used to call it my fairy godmother complex. I like to make girls look beautiful.
That's awesome. I love that. So I know who to hit up then when I get married.
Oh yeah, totally. Yep, it'll be fun.
Yeah. Okay. I have another question here. So, like, when I first met you at the college, you're the one that really inspired me about all the sustainability and all the importance of how it is to be an ethical fashion brand, just be anything about the fashion industry, all that sustainable jazz. I got so excited when you were teaching this at the college. And then it encouraged me to do this kind of platform of mine, this business.
Great.
So when did you first kind of get excited on the whole sustainable fashion scene? Like, when did you jump on board?
It's interesting because I've jumped on board in different ways throughout my life. Okay. So when I was a young girl, right, we were fairly poor, large family and fairly poor. And so we made everything we wore and or remade things. So I would take my older sister's clothes and remake them for myself, right? And then throughout the years, I taught classes for adults how to redesign clothes, how to take what they had and make into something else, with minimal effort, so that you could update your wardrobe but upcycle all the time. How to repair things, how to patch things, how to redo stuff. So it's really been a passion of mine my entire life.
Wow.
So when we got the opportunity to redesign the program for sustainability, to whatever we wanted, it was like, okay, well, it's got to be sustainability. That's exciting.
Yeah,
so it didn't last too long. Yeah, it was just so exciting to be able to share that passion with my students. And it's happening,
yeah,
so cool.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm, it's such a blessing that I did get into the fashion program when I did, because it was the last year, right? It was the last years of that program. And I am so grateful that I got to get into it, because I don't think I would have wanted to do any other fashion program out there in Canada, because I wanted to stay in Canada at the least, and this way I could still stay with my parents in the meantime too, and not have to worry about rent or anything, because that was hardcore. But yeah, that's really cool. I remember same thing, growing up, I didn't necessarily have to mend or like change anything, but I did start hand sewing when I was a kid, and I like hand sewed like little clothes for my dolls, like my little Beanie Baby dolls. But
nice.
But because I'm the youngest, I grew up with just getting the clothes from my siblings. It was always like the coming down, so I never really started shopping until like middle school. And even now I still I thrift. I don't even buy new clothes. Like, all this is totally thrifted that I'm wearing right now,
Right. It's more fun, more bang for your buck.
It's totally more fun, and yeah, I think you can find just cooler styles when you thrift, because it seems like you're making your own style instead of you're directed somewhere when you're going to a certain store or something.
Right. Yeah.
That's why.
Well, that's totally true. Yeah.
And you know what? It's trendy. Like, sustainability is like trendy now.
It's catching
on. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
So let's get into Beautiful Reason now. You just launched Beautiful Reason. So tell me a little about that. What inspired you to create this company brand?
Well, it was actually the closing of the fashion program. Because I was so involved in sustainable practices and fighting against unsustainable practices. And I just felt I needed something to hang on to. I needed something to inspire me. And I wanted something that was about sustainability. So first I started with the idea of producing items where you didn't have to, let me say it again. So that producing items to take the place of one-time use or few-time uses, particularly plastic. Like, it's not like I hate plastic, because this is plastic. I like it. My laptop's plastic. I like it. Right. My glasses are plastic.
But you're not throwing it away.
I'm not throwing it away. Right. It's that, it's the film plastic, the plastic that doesn't last, that people throw away all the time.
The single use
on the earth. You can't do anything with it. Right.
Exactly.
And it really bothers me. So I've, for years, I've been doing my own version of that. Long before people were, and stores were supplying reusable bags, I'd been using them for, a decade or more, avoiding plastic whenever I possibly could, plastic bags. And so that's where this started, the idea of trying to produce things that were more sustainable, and expanded since then.
Yeah. And how I like how you touched on like the reusable bags there. because when I was like looking through your brand on Facebook, I noticed that you do have like a lot of reusable bags that you got on there. So like your Veggie Villa bags or like the Market Mania bags and Spud bags, like was that to encourage people then to like get these bags to go grocery shopping with, to like reuse or was it like gardening? Like it could be a lot, right?
It's pretty much everything. So things like the produce pouches, those are a mesh net bag to put your produce in when you're shopping, right?
Okay, yes.
The ripstop bulk bags are the same thing. They're for purchasing bulk foods like, nuts and rice and spices and things like that. So you don't have to use those little plastic bags. Those are all about, plus some of them, like there's bowl covers, stuff like that's not on the website yet, on the Facebook page. Bowl covers, that kind of stuff. So you don't use saran wrap.
Are you working on that right now?
Yeah, I have a lot of those. I just haven't I haven't had a photo shoot yet. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's exciting.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. So, and cake covers and things like that. So there's quite a few really super practical things to stop using the little plastic bags and plastic film, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So it's like from my point of view, beautiful reason. It just looks like it's like alternatives for anything that was plastic. This is the alternative.
The alternative. And then I started having some fun. Then I started coming up with sayings, and you find sayings online and you make up your own. And
I noticed that. Yeah.
Right. I just wanted to have some fun drawing and stuff, and doing doodle art, which I like. Doodle around, and so I started playing around with that and writing on muslin and maybe these little coasters with sayings on, so that you either have something inspirational to look at in the morning or something sassy. And then that kind of spread. I was making them out of the leftovers from some of the bags. And then I started writing on the bags.
Okay.
You could take for shopping. And I also have some that you can go for your alcohol shopping that have divisions in them, so the bottles don't clink and you don't have to have the paper bags and the plastic bags, right? So, just to make life easier and more practical, but then also more fun and more enjoyable. So that I started doing that.
And you said it's muslin for the bags.
So a lot of the reusable bags are out of a broadcloth and or muslin or combination. A lot of them were repurposed from other projects, and some of the materials are new, but then they're reusable, right? And they're washable.
Okay.
So that even if the material is new to begin with, it's reusable. You can use forever and ever, right? I've had some of my bags, for 10, 15 years.
That's sweet.
They're still totally functional, right? And then I started moving into canvas as well, because I had some leftover canvas from a project.
That's good sturdy material.
Yeah, it's super sturdy. And so I started making, first of all, I made a spud sack, so you can put potatoes in it on the counter to keep them nice and cool. And then I made the Veggie Villa just because I have lots of yams and spaghetti squash and other crap, yummy vegetables. So then I did that, and then made one Veggie Villa, and I'm having as much fun with the names as I am making the products. And then the market is a big one for shopping. Yeah,
it's not just like bag 1, bag 2, bag 3. Like you really, you get creative with it. That's I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's part of the fun. It's part of the whole package.
Yeah. So you kind of like answered one of my questions here on like where you get your fabrics. So you basically, if they're from previous projects or previous whatever leftovers.
Yeah. So some materials are new, some are repurposed from other projects, and then some are upcycled from the stuff that normally would get thrown away. So like these little pun cushions instead of pin cushions, because they have puns written on them, and they're all stuffed with fabric scraps. So I keep all my fabric scraps up into little pieces, and then that's what they're stuffed with. So everything is I don't throw anything away
at all. Like holy,
even the scraps.
That's awesome, because it's hard for me when I'm like creating my own clothes now to really I try to keep as much as I can too, and then I keep the little pieces and I patch them together to make like just another sheet of fabric. But the little ones, like the tiny ones that you would use for like your pun cushions, right? I would throw those out because
Yeah.
they're too small and I don't know what to do with them. But that's really cool.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that you still find use for them.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of fun. It was like, what can I do to use these? It's like, oh, I'll make pincushions. And then that morphed,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. And it's fun.
So then where do you get the I don't know if you can answer this. Where do you get the fabric that you buy? Like and it is sustainable.
Yeah.
You said
yeah, the only my source is Marshall's right now.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then I also have some online as well.
Oh.
Trying to find, so I'm able to get the fabric fairly inexpensively. Trying to find fair trade fabric is pretty difficult. Fortunately, that's, oh, I know there's some irony involved in some of the fabrics in that the production of them aren't sustainable, but I'm trying to then make at least this end of it sustainable, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Do so much. We can only fight so many battles at one time. So this is the battle I'm choosing to fight. And I know all the other stuff is out there. I personally can't do anything about that, but I can do something about the consumer end.
Yeah. Amen. I noticed, yeah, you know, that's so true because I was researching a couple of big brands the other day and I realized, like I said earlier, that sustainability is becoming a trend now.
Yeah.
And I think bigger brands are realizing that and they're jumping on board. So they're using more sustainable fibers or they're reusing plastic bottles and making clothes out of it. And so that's reusing stuff and it's nice.
Yeah.
But then you got to look further because to make a brand sustainable or ethical or eco-friendly or whatever, fair trade is also important. You got to put that into consideration. And you're right, it's so hard I didn't even think about that to source out fabric, to find good fabric places that it's fair trade.
Right.
So
it's almost impossible at this point. So again, you pick the battle you can. And so what I'm finding more and more, even in Southern Alberta particularly, is people it's becoming more trendy, like you said, to be sustainable, supporting the markets, the small markets, more than they ever have. We have more small markets now than we've had for years. When I was growing up and even, you know, in my 30s and 40s, there was nothing like that here. People weren't interested. And so now we see that people are interested in that kind of stuff and they're willing to pay a little bit more for products that last longer. And so I find that really encouraging. So it's like, okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I can to help people at this point of the sustainable, idea, right? Is that to reuse? Because really, we have this saying, reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yes.
And so first of all, we all need to reduce, I personally think we all need to reduce the plastic intake because that's something that's I'm passionate about.
Yes.
But then reuse whatever we can. So that's my focus.
Exactly.
Have fun with it.
And okay, talking about reusing,
yes,
as we are, and that's basically your brand is all about reusing. I noticed, I love these, what is it called? It was the Ultra Utensils.
Oh yeah.
Those people.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool. I'm like, I needed this when I went to school. And what I used to do was I still brought utensils from home, but they still get like all dirty and everything.
Yeah.
And you know what I did? I wrapped paper towel around it. And what a waste, just to throw it back in my bag. Like, so I'll let you elaborate on that. Tell us what
well, because I don't like to, I don't use, if I do take out, I won't use their straws or their plastic cutlery or anything. I haven't for years. But I ran into the same problem you did. And so I was like, so I had a heavier ripstop than the other ripstop that I'm using, a nice nylon. And I doubled it up and I made just basically a little pouch for them. So you can put your straw in, and some of them are called smart straws and they have a division in the middle. So you can put your clean straw on one side and when you've used it, you can put it on the other side. The utensil bag, I just put them all together and you can put straw in that as well. And so they're big enough just to fit a knife, fork, and a spoon and a straw. And they're washable and you can throw them in your car. So you have one in your car all the time, in your backpack, or your purse, so that you don't have to use the throwaway items.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that. So even when you're like go to a fast food place or something, or
Right. Yeah.
I was thinking, I don't even
And
know.
lunches and yeah.
Anywhere
Yeah.
that like requires takeout, they would throw in like a plastic or something. Like I remember back in the day when I was at Silver Threads, I would go right across the street. It was so dangerous. Mango Tree was right across the street. So I'd go there for lunch so many times. But takeout, they throw the plastic fork in there, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
if you have your little ultra utensil case, you can just always say, please don't, no plastic, and you don't get it, right?
Yeah. So
let's have it on hand.
Available for everybody.
And the same like with your lunches, I found that the inside of my lunch container, whatever, got so nasty from the fork and spoon or whatever. So yeah.
Yep.
I'm also going to start doing some lunch bags that have divisions in them. I'm also doing some, I've got a lot of new products on the go. Let's just put it that way.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah. Picnic stuff.
So this is kind of side topic, but so you're working on all these projects right now, which is sweet. And I'm excited for you to release them. But also, so in the meantime, are you still like, are you doing like Zoom classes right now or something with your students?
Well, I have been on leave because I fell and had a concussion. And so I had been on leave. So actually part of producing Beautiful Reason has been kind of part of my therapy as well.
That's sweet. I love it.
Yeah, to give me things to focus on. So designing stuff using that part of my brain and constructing things. And then working on the computer for tags and different, and putting together some Excel sheets and things like that. So it's all been part of that process. I am back at work part-time now and soon full-time, but it's all, I'm not, so I'm everything just through the computer doing curriculum development. Yeah.
All right.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I missed it, but that's okay. Right. I'll be back.
Yeah. Sooner than later. Right. We can only be
right. Yeah. In fact, one of the products is that I did are these origami birds, and you look at them, they have nothing to do with sustainability. They have nothing to do with reusing anything, except for when I first had my concussion, all I could do was color. So I got all those adult coloring books, right? And scalps, and I colored and colored and colored. It was all I could do. And I ended up having around almost 200 sheets of paper that were colored with these beautiful lines and all this kind of stuff for these felts. And then I'm like, but I can't just throw them away. What am I going to do with them? Because again, I just can't throw stuff away.
Right.
And not that I'm a hoarder. I just like to reuse things. That's right. It's a matter of opinion, but so as part of my concussion therapy, I taught myself origami. And I'm not very good at it, but
yes,
good enough.
I saw that. I saw a Beautiful Reason. Okay, continue.
Yeah. So that's what those came from.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah. I'm glad you touched on that.
Just trying to find something beautiful I'll experience, right?
Yeah, definitely. You're so good. I admire you so much. I strive to be like a Brenda Brandley one day.
I think you're pretty amazing too. So
thanks, Brenda. Thanks.
Oh gosh.
So I noticed that, is this fairly new, by the way, Beautiful Reason? Like, when did you start?
Yeah, it is. Well, because I started it in the summer of 2019, and then I fell and hit my head.
2019.
And a very slow thing. So I just launched the business itself this in January, and got enough stock on hand. And then I had my first sale at a little teeny small market that was at Theoretically Brewing, and I'm going to do some more there. And they're going to have some night markets, and then I'm applying to a few other markets. Right now, I'm not doing any online sales. I'm just going to do strictly markets, just for just ease myself into it, right?
Okay, so then
it's like brand new.
So then, like on Facebook, is that just kind of showing, showing the viewers what's out there, but you wouldn't sell online?
Yeah, exactly. And then to let them know when my markets are, so they can see the products. And as I'm making new ones, I will post them, and then I'll let them know when the markets are, so that they can see them, just to get a little bit of buzz.
Okay, cool.
Because it was fun to do.
Yeah, definitely. Do you look to expand this? I know, so you just launched your Facebook website, I guess you could say, in January.
Right.
do you look to expand to different social media platforms and create your own website in the future?
Well, I'm going to go on to Instagram as well, right? I'm just kind of doing things a little bit at a time because I'm trying to do it it's for fun and therapy rather than intense pressure for as a business, right?
Good. I like that.
So I want to, yeah, I'm just going to do it a bit at a time. I have a website of my own for my own name as well. So I do have a link to that. It'll be a while before I actually do a website of Beautiful Reason. We'll see how far I want to go, right?
Yeah.
As time goes on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's smart. To not really worry intensely about it and stress you out about like income regarding to Beautiful Reason.
Right.
But it's cool that you are out there, and I appreciate all of it. That's why I wanted to interview you. You know,
Yeah,
this is also cool.
Yeah.
So
right. I mean, I still have a full-time job, so this is a side product, in a project. It's just something that I'm really passionate about.
Exactly. I was gonna say that. It's to fuel your passion, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I want to make sure that I keep that focus, that I continue to do it just for my passion. And then we'll go from there.
I think
later that I want to expand and sell online, I will, but right now I don't.
I think that's a great start.
Yeah. Right now I want to actually see the people and go at the markets and so the first market I went to, I did a lot of market research at the same time. So I saw what people bought and I talked to them about the products and then I talked to the other vendors and then they gave me some ideas and so I brainstormed a lot. And so to me, that's all part of it, you know?
Definitely. The communication between other people and like-minded people is really important.
Yeah. And of course, educating people as well, because, well, that's what I do.
Yeah, definitely.
So to me, that's all part of it, right? To meet people and educate them as to, well, if you do this, then you will use less plastic and, you know,
exactly
slightly better in one little area.
Yeah. And I love it too. Like I'm not a teacher. I don't think I ever will be, but I'm kind of, and what's the word? Okay, I'm gonna have to cut all this out.
Whatever.
Now that I'm trying to figure out the word, but you know how I'm like doing my alteration videos on my YouTube channel? What is that? What is that even called?
It's teaching. You're teaching.
Am I a teacher?
Yeah, you're a teacher. You're instructing people. You know, you're not.
I guess so. Yeah.
You don't have the education of being a teacher, but you have skills, right? That you have the education for the skills, and you have training, and you have the desire to share that with other people. So you're a natural instructor. I was doing the same thing long before I went to school to get my degrees and to degree and to teach.
Okay. Yeah.
Side classes, and now you're doing the same thing. You're doing them. You have your YouTube channel, and you're instructing people. You're sharing your knowledge.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Brenda, because I'm more passionate about these videos and these podcasts more than designing, more than making posting it. I mean, I'll still have it, and that's really the only income that I see right now is from my designs. But this is what excites me, these interviews and learning more from other people because I'm only one person, right?
Yes, exactly. And so when you are interviewing people, then you learn different things as well from them about what they're doing, and then that inspires you to do other stuff. It's the same teaching, like, so when I was teaching you way back, you gave me ideas. It's like, wow, that's a brilliant idea, right? To me, that's a beauty of teaching, is that you learn as much from your students as you do from anything else, and then you get inspired to do more research and do other stuff. It's that sharing. I think it's wonderful.
It's so true. I love it.
Yeah. So it's a brush, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I didn't think that I would like it so much. I thought, like, it's funny. I was like cleaning up my room the other day, and I was looking through like some old high school things, and my big time goal in life is to be a fashion designer and be successful in that area. I'm like, well, it's kind of in that direction, the fashion design. Like it's all kind of intertwined with like the whole fashion industry and sustainability, but lifestyles too,
Right.
So it's more than just being a fashion designer, because I'm more passionate about the sustainable aspect opposed to just designing. So
right.
kind of make it, I mix it together, you know?
Yeah. And it's your own little niche. And, you know, so like, you know, anyone could be a fashion designer, really. You know, you get the training, you get the desire.
Well, I think about that too. I like tell my friends and I'm like,
yeah,
we need any more fashion designers.
So there's so many out there, right?
I know, yeah.
But taking stuff and reusing them and teaching other people how to do that and showcasing how you can do this sort of stuff and still have your own style. In fact, you have your own style more than ever and do your little teeny bit to help save the planet, right?
Exactly.
You know, sometimes that phrase gets abused a little bit, but really that's it, you know. Like this is the only home we have. Let's do what we can to help it.
It's true.
So I think it's way more exciting. Like I've done fashion lines. I used to have fashion lines. I've done them where it's been all new materials, and I've done them where I've taken stuff apart and reused them and re-dyed them and created stuff out of curtains and all kinds of stuff. And those are the ones I like the most. Those are the most challenging to me and the most rewarding because you're showing your creativity and also you're designing with what you can find around you. It's
exactly
fun.
It's almost like it's almost like making a dinner for you from all the leftovers in the fridge. I love it. It's so satisfying. I'm like, I did it. I finished all the leftovers.
Yeah, and it was delicious.
Exactly.
And you made something kind of crazy and weird, but hey, it worked. Right? It's exactly that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love you. This is so exciting. Anyways.
I love you too.
So let's get on to this question here. Why should people buy from Beautiful Reason?
Well, I think they should so that they can have other ways to help save the world. They can do their little bit as well, right? Definitely. So hopefully they buy from me because they think the products are fun. They like the names, for one thing, because I like the names. I think they're fun. That bring them some joy because so many of the products, they have the super practical ones and then they have the ones that are practical but more fun as well, so I call them warm and fuzzy sayings or silly and sassy. So bring a smile to your face or make you feel better in some way. So bring in a little bit of joy to your life as well as helping to stop one and multiple use, few time use products.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
that's why.
Yeah, that's really good. I love it. Because it's encouraging people to, do a little part. When they support you, they're supporting the planet, really. They're helping out the planet and just slowing down climate change, slowing down anything else,
Just in one little teeny way, right? Then that's all we can do as individuals, right?
You're right.
And we'll do a little teeny bit in our own little ways, just as in the consumer aspect. It's then sending messages to the companies and the businesses that the consumers actually want this, because consumerism drives the world. But if we don't do our part first to say this is how I want to consume, well, then other industries aren't going to listen to us, because why would they, right?
Exactly.
If we do this little bit. And that's why I called it Beautiful Reason too. I came up with all kinds of different names and, about being green or this or that. And first of all, they're all taken. And
it's pretty hard. Oh yeah.
I know. So hard to find something that's not taken.
Yeah.
Then I just started thinking about what was important to me. And I love to surround myself with beauty in any kind of way. Like behind me, you see my kids, my family, my friends, my loved ones. To me, that's beautiful because that surrounds me with love and with warmth. And so beauty in that sense, not in the traditional beauty, but in finding something that speaks to your soul is really important to me. And so this whole line speaks to my soul. And so to me, it's beautiful. And so that's the reason.
Amen. Wow. I had to clap for that. I was like, because you used them both. I was like, that's beautiful to me. And that was the reason. I'm like, yes, it is, Brenda. Wow. I love that. Okay.
Oh, you're adorable.
I am fueled right now. So that's all I got for you. That's all I got. So we will say our little goodbyes. Thank you everybody for watching this YouTube channel, for logging on or whatever. thanks for logging on, Brenda.
Right. Yeah.
And doing this interview with us, and I hope that everybody just felt a little inspired today. I definitely did. I love interviewing people with like minds. It was so exciting. So thank you again. If anybody wants to check out Beautiful Reason, she has her Facebook page. She is at Beautiful Reason. That's BAUTIFUL spacebar Reason, REASON. And if you want to send her an email, if you have any questions regarding her business or whatever, she also has her business email. She's at beautreason@gmail.com, BEAUTREASON@gmail.com. So thank you again, Brenda. And
Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. And thank you everybody for watching the video. I hope everybody has a gravy day, and please and thank you, stay hydrated.